And hopefully, here we go. There we go. I believe we are live now. The whole YouTube live thing always kicks off a little awkwardly. I am Jenn Herman of Jenn's Trends, and tonight we're talking spontaneously about stop deleting your Instagram hashtags, people. This whole new thing came out. I'm on a mission to counteract the bad information that is out there. So that is the conversation tonight. Stop deleting your Instagram hashtags. Now, I got to get everything going over here on Instagram. I just realized my microphone's not that close to me, so hopefully you heard all that. Technology at its finest when you decide to randomly go live. Sometimes you forget all your technology in front of you. So I'm going to get everything going over here on Instagram. So bear with me. If you are catching this on the replay, you may want to jump ahead at least a minute or two into this video, maybe even a couple minutes in, because we will do some banter. I'm going to get everything going over here on Instagram, get this launched, and then we can go ahead and get started. We will be talking about this new, the whole deleting hashtags thing that is like my big ass pet peeve right now. So it will be a rant. There may be some colorful language. You may want to put in headphones for this. Just going to warn you now because I'm fired up about this topic. I'm going to get fired up. Sometimes you can't control it. Ask Evie just tuned in here live and she's going, rant ahead with a smiley face because she knows what's coming. I've already started doing this, talking about this in my Facebook groups and whatnot. So now I'm broaching it publicly. So give me a hot minute while I get everything launched over here on Instagram and we will get started. So that's a little close. Hopefully that's a little bit better. This is what happens when I go live. I gotta like manage everything around. Get all the cameras right. Get the good angles. I got weird shadows going on today. I don't know what is up with these shadows. Is that better? I guess that's better. We'll deal with it. We're going to know that, you guys. We're going live. Hello. We are here. It is spontaneous. It's unplanned. Jenn's on a rant. It's going down, people. So for those of you watching the replay, hang tight. Evie has joined me over here. I got Evie in all the worlds. We are simulcasting over on YouTube. Hello, Donna. Hello, Danny at Out of My Blooming Mind. You guys, this is random. This is spontaneous. Chipmunk Media. Hey, girl. Hey. Tonight we are talking, I'm going to type it up in a second, but we're talking about this bad advice. There is another bad piece of advice going around. I am not going to throw anybody under the bus in terms of who is saying these things. I know who's saying it. There's multiple people that are saying it. It is not good advice. It is not working out. It is hurting people. And so I am here to shut that shiz down. Yes, put in your headsets, people. It's a rant. It could get nasty up in here. I'm sorry, the language could get colorful. It's bound to happen. I love it. All you guys love it. Out of Blooming Mind is saying, yay, she made it. Mike Alton just joined us. Donna Gucci's laughing at me. I love you guys. It's gonna be colorful. We're going to take them down one by one. I got to give up my life. These things happen. I got to like stop everything to address these things when they pop up. So tonight we are talking about stop deleting. I really can't type. Deleting your, you guys, I literally can't do this. Your IG hashtags. Oh my goodness, if I could type, my life would be a lot easier. There we go. Hashtags. We're going to go ahead and throw that up. Pinning that so everybody who comes in knows what we're talking about. We got Britspan Girl is here as well. Mike and Evie, I love you guys. Okay, so you guys, we're going to jump right in. We're going to do some banter, but this was not planned. This is a totally spontaneous live video. I don't know who's going to show up. But if you're here, you're going to be part of this. You're going to hear it all firsthand. I've been talking about this in my Facebook group. I will be talking about it on Instagram. But of course, these things always happen when I have other things scheduled to my Instagram. Like I just had a post go out this morning. So now I got to wait for that one to die off before I can post about this because of the whole algorithm and the engagement. And I need this message to get out. So I got to wait until I can post it on Instagram. So I'm like, F it, we're going live. I got to get this message out there because this has come up in the last couple days multiple times and it's hurting people. And sometimes people say things and give advice on Instagram and I'm like, whatever. Like it's not the best advice, but it's not going to kill you. This advice is hurting people. This advice is not going to help you. And if that's the case, I'm going to step in and I'm going to set it right. So that is the whole purpose of tonight's video. We are shutting this down. We are laying down the law about what really happens, how these things work, and why this advice is bad. So we've got a bunch of people just joined in as well. So for those of you joining in, welcome to Jenn Herman on a Rant. Tonight, we're talking about why you need to stop deleting your Instagram hashtags. This is a thing that just came out recently. There is another Instagram expert out there, relatively well-respected expert, who has started telling people to delete their old posts' hashtags. The advice is that the hashtags are no longer valid after 5 days. They're pretty much useless. So you're better off going in and deleting them, because if you leave them there, you have better chances of being shadow banned. I'm just going to start this off and be like, it's all wrong, okay? All wrong. Every bit of that is wrong. And there's so many ways I need to dissect this. You guys, I'm so freaking fired up about this whole situation because it just drives me crazy. But here's the thing. If you use hashtags strategically, I'm going to give you my strategic hashtag plan, like my recipe that I tell everybody, because if you do hashtags properly, and I'm going to tell you guys in a little bit what that exact strategy is. If you've heard me talk on any session, you know what the strategy is, but I'm going to tell you again in case this is your first time watching one of my videos or hearing me speak. But if you use hashtags properly, they are not invalid after 5 days. If you use them properly, they will continue to drive new followers and conversions for your business for months. Months, not just days, not just weeks. They could last months in terms of conversions for you. So deleting them after 5 days just took away all that time that you could be using these hashtags. So why would you do that? First of all. Second of all, shadow banning doesn't exist in the way that you people think it exists. Oh my God. If you really want to know how I feel about shadow banning, I ain't got time to go into that. I have like 3 YouTube videos on that topic. You can go to YouTube and search for Jenn's Trends and go look for the shadow banning ones. I got plenty of videos that are way more colorful than this one's going to be talking about shadow banning. So shadow banning in that way does not exist. Leaving hashtags on your profile, on your accounts, is not going to get you shadow banned. Okay? Not going to happen. So for that second reason, this whole advice is null and void. It doesn't matter. But the worst part about it is that people are going in based on this advice that recently has kind of hit mainstream, and they're deleting hashtags off of all their old posts. The problem is they're not doing it on one post. They're doing it on all of them, or multiple posts, like 5, 10, 15, 20 posts. Do you know what happens when you do that? No, you probably don't, because you're doing this thing and you're listening to these people. What happens when you do that is you basically flag your account on Instagram. And they go, whoa, what you doing up in here? And they basically put you in jail. So when your content was showing up in all the hashtags just fine, and everything was working just fine, when you go in and delete a whole bunch of hashtags from a whole bunch of posts, it basically can flag you as being suspicious. It makes you look like you're gaming the system, which, is exactly what you're doing. And when you game the system, Instagram goes, not so fast. We're going to shut you down. So guess what happens the next time you post something? Your content will not show up in hashtags. And guess what? This is happening. I have literally seen it with my own 2 eyes that people who have followed this advice are now getting their current content not into hashtags. They're essentially shadow banned by trying to avoid the shadow ban. Not that shadow banning exists in the way that we think about it, but yes, by doing this, Instagram has put them in jail. And you're actually now not going to get any reach from hashtags. You flagged your account, so now Instagram's like monitoring you, and it's going to be a while until you get normal activities back. So don't, for the love of all things on this planet, stop. Please stop deleting your hashtags. Don't do it. Leave them alone. They are serving you. They are working. They are getting you followers. They are getting you conversions. Stop deleting them. You want to go in and edit one or delete one or add another one or fix a typo? Go for it. Do what you got to do. That's normal. But when you go in and do rapid successive changes to your account in a way of deleting content in that way, you're gonna flag Instagram and it could backfire big time on you. And I've seen it happen. I literally just looked at someone's account yesterday that brought this up to me again. And they're like, this is what's going on. And I'm like, I'm willing to bet this is what happened. And I asked him, I'm like, why did you do this? And he's like, oh, I got this advice from da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, so that's not good. I didn't even know this advice was going around. I kind of figured that's what had happened to his account when he told me what he had done. I didn't realize this was being told by experts in the industry to go do this. And I was like, oh my God, this can't really be happening. So I've been kind of looking into it. And then I got more messages today, multiple messages today from people reaching out to me and being like, hey, I heard about this thing. It doesn't sound right to me. Is this right? Should I be doing this? And I was like, oh my gosh, hell to the no. Like, stop doing this. You're going to hurt yourself. So I posted about it in the Facebook group. If you go to Jenn's Trends and Social Media on Facebook, you will find the Facebook group, and I've talked about it there. I'm posting it in other places. I'm going to post it here on Instagram, but I had to go live first. I wanted to get this off my chest. I know it's a rant. I know it's long-winded, but I really need you guys to understand what is going on with this. So a bunch of comments have come in. I'm going to jump back here and look at all these comments, and then I'm going to tell you my hashtag strategy. That means they keep working for months. This whole 5-day bullshit will not even matter because I'm going to teach you how to use hashtags the right way. And then we're going to solve this problem. Cool? Okay. We got Radio Dawn over here on YouTube as well. Hey, good to see you. Okay, so we had a bunch of people jump in. Ask Evie said, if you watch on YouTube, you'll know everything a few seconds faster. That's true. I think YouTube does have a slightly, Instagram has a slight delay versus the YouTube one. So yes, you can listen to this rant even faster if you go over to the YouTube channel. So I Blue Mind had asked, why are people deleting hashtags? So I think I answered that question. Ask Evie had said that she loves the recipe and she refers to it constantly. So she's very familiar with my hashtag recipe, which I'm about to drop on you guys. Ask Edie said, I'm still getting traffic from hashtags from months ago. Boom. Exactly. This works if you do it the right way. We got Shalise 13 is here. We got Ibra here. We got Pilar Delgado is here. Hello, everybody. We got the Richard Clarkson has joined us as well. Cara Main is here. The Yacht Stew. Hey, sweetie. Good to see you as well. And James over in Singapore is here with us too. So for everybody that's tuned in late, if you didn't see the pinned comment, we are talking about the bad news, the bad information that is out there that is telling people to delete their hashtags. There are experts out there. I'm not throwing them under the bus, but there are people out there, multiple people now that are saying to go and delete old hashtags on posts that are any more than 5 days old. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's going to hurt you. And so James just said, hi, Jen, good day to you. Have to listen to your replay. Of course, I understand. Get some sleep. The replay will be here for 24 hours and will live on YouTube for any of you who tuned in late or can't stay, because I am going to tell you my super secret recipe that I tell everybody. Okay. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you taking notes? Are you listening? Are you recording this? Do whatever you got to do. Eileen has just joined us, and Patty Cake Real Estate has just joined us as well. Here is the super secret recipe that I tell everybody for how to use hashtags effectively. Okay? And for the record, it means actually leaving them on your profile, on your posts. Cool? We got that straight? All right. Good. Glad we cleared that up. Okay. First and foremost, let's just get this straight. Okay? You don't want to use overly popular hashtags. If you're using super popular hashtags with like 10 million posts associated with them, yeah, guess what? Those aren't going to do anything for your account. Those are going to be null and void. They're useless, essentially, because guess what? There's so much content out there that your content doesn't exist after a matter of seconds. It's useless. So you shouldn't be using them in the first place. Cool? Okay. So all hashtags that you use are going to be relevant to your content and or your industry, your niche, your business. So, for example, if I did a screenshot right now of this photo and turn this into hashtags, I would be using hashtags related to Jenn's Trends, hashtags related to Instagram and Instagram training and social media. That's the content. I could also use hashtags about the fact that I wear glasses, that there's a poinsettia, that there's certain colors, There are things that I could incorporate that are part of this image, as well as the context, meaning Jenn's trends, social media, Instagram, etc. So those would be relevant hashtags to this post if I was to take a screenshot of this specific camera image right now and turn that into an Instagram post. Good, we're all on the same page. Okay, so you need to be using at least 15 to 20 hashtags per post. 15 to 20. You can use more. You can use up to 30. 15 to 20 hashtags. That is the aim goal. I'm going to tell you the rest. You can get there super easy with 15 to 20. Then, so you 15 to 20, you can use more if you want. So you're going to pick 3 to 5 popular hashtags. Not super popular. Not the ones with, 10 million. Not hashtag love. Don't use hashtag love. It's not serving you. Stop it. You're going to use 3 to 5 popular hashtags. Popular are hashtags in the kind of high hundreds of thousands up to about 1 million. So after 1 million, your posts kind of become irrelevant. There are certain industries where using posts with over 1 million or using hashtags with over 1 million posts is okay. Things like the wedding industry, because almost all the wedding hashtags are going to have large volume on them. So some industries you can kind of get away with going a little bit higher into the millions. But for most industries, don't use hashtags that have more than 1 million posts associated with them. Because at that point, your content lives for a matter of seconds. It's gone. It becomes irrelevant. And most of the people that are going to see you in that hashtag are spam bots, which are going by the wayside as well. So not going to help you out in that way either. So if someone's going to see your content on the hashtag, why use it? It's going to get you maybe a few extra likes. That's about it. So no need to use those super popular ones. Out of my blooming mind said, what about quotes? Not quite sure what you mean about quotes. So if you want to clarify that, Danny, I'm happy to answer that towards the end of this. I want to get through the whole recipe. So Blom Grenke said, what about for real estate? Now, there are some real estate hashtags that will be super popular, that will push you above the 1 million, but there are plenty of hashtags that you can use in the lower categories that are going to work for you much better. Here's the thing, you guys. When you use a popular hashtag, like if you just use hashtag real estate, who do you think is going to find your content? Do you think that somebody who's really looking to buy a house is looking at hashtag real estate? No! They're looking at hashtag real estate San Diego, or San Diego real estate, or San Diego homes, or something related to a specific area. That is how people find you. They're not going to find you under hashtag real estate. The only people who are going to find you under hashtag real estate are people who are not interested in working with you. So it doesn't matter. Okay? We're all on the same page. Okay. And so Out of my blooming mind has said hashtags for quotes if there is no picture. Well, I mean, you could put a quote like in the image, or whatever, but then you're going to use hashtags that are related to whoever that either author is, about the context of the quote, hashtag motivational Monday type things. Again, a super popular one, but that would be something that would tie into a quote. So you could totally use something like that. These Wing Loft said, should I put my hashtags in the caption or is my first comment? I'm going to come back to that one. I want to continue with the recipe, you guys. I'm going to come back to that comment about where to put the hashtags, because it's no longer the easiest answer. It used to be didn't matter, but that's different now. It doesn't really matter, but there is like a little bit of matter. So I'm going to come back to that at the end of the recipe. So the recipe, 15 to 20 hashtags, 3 to 5 popular, which means up to 1 million posts associated with that hashtag. 3 to 5 popular. Again, all relevant. You're going to then pick 3 to 5 moderately popular. These are the ones that are in the high tens of thousands into the mid hundreds of thousands. So anything from 50,000 up to 500,000 would be a moderately popular. Okay, same context. We want to get things that are relevant to the content and your business or brand or niche industry, that sort of thing. So those 3 to 5 moderately popular, they're making it more specific. Then you are going to use 3 to 5 hyper targeted, which means those that are less than 20,000, like the 50,000, 20,000 and below. 3,000, great, go with it. You want the super targeted hashtags related to your brand, your industry, and the solution that you provide to your customers. So here's why you're doing this. So 3 to 5 popular, 3 to 5 moderately popular, 3 to 5 niche specific. Then you're also going to tack on 1 to 3 of your own personal branded hashtags. I use hashtag Jenn's Trends and hashtag Learn from Jenn. So I have my 2 branded hashtags on top of all of those ones that I've used. Here's why you do this recipe. Pay attention, people. The popular ones get you an initial burst of activity. You post that thing, and the popular ones get you into those kind of where a lot of people are going to see you. Some of them are going to be bots, but that's where you're going to get an initial burst of activity because a lot of people are looking at that hashtag. Probably never going to buy from you. That's okay, but it's going to get you activity. Then you're going to do the moderately popular ones as well. Those ones with like the 50 to 100,000 posts on them, not as active. So what happens is your content lasts longer, right? So the initial burst of activity from the popular ones, which you're buried in the archives in a matter of like 30 seconds, you're gone, you're irrelevant. The moderately popular ones will keep you active for hours into days. So what happens is you now have a burst of activity. Instagram goes, oh, that's good. The moderately popular keep your content active. If you've ever looked at that horrible curve of drop off in activity on an Instagram post and you get like this initial burst of activity and then it drops off pretty much immediately, the more you can make that drop shallow, so it's not this steep drop, the more you can make it shallow, the better Instagram believes your content to be. Are you paying attention? If Instagram believes your content is valuable, meaning people liked it immediately and they continue to like it, meaning it is appealing to people over a broad period of time. Additionally, hashtags are only impacted by people who do not currently follow you. So your current followers are over here liking your content over a period of time. When you first post it, when they log in, over a period of days, people are liking your content. So your content is staying active with followers. It's staying active with non-followers. And Instagram looks at you and goes, damn girl, you know what you doing. We're gonna reward you. You know how you get rewarded? In the niche specific hashtags. The super targeted ones, you now rank as a top post. Guess what happens when you are a top post? You're the first one people see. And when you're the first hashtag or the first piece of content that people see in a hashtag, they click on it. And when they click on it, they get to your other content. They get to your profile. They follow you. They click on your email button or your call button. They go ahead and interact with you. They leave comments. They start looking at your other content. They start bookmarking things. And guess what? You make conversions. You get followers. You get sales. That is how you use hashtags successfully. But you can't do that if you delete them after 5 days, because then they're all useless. It's a waste of time if you believe this other strategy. So you're going to go in, going forward, if you're not currently using this recipe, you're going to follow this whole recipe, start to finish, on all of your content. And I promise you, you're going to see results, because there are people watching this video right now who use this every single time. And I promise you it works. I use them in my presentations to show that they have ranked as top posts. I do it all the time. I get people all the time who send me an email because they found me as a top post on Instagram in a targeted field. Now, you do have to figure out what your targeted hashtags are. I can't answer that just generically right now, but you need to figure that out. So you're going to have your popular hashtags, your moderately popular where you niche down. So for example, somebody like me, hashtag social media, massive, huge hashtags, like hundreds of millions of posts associated with hashtag social media. I don't really use that one. On the rare occasion, I'll throw it in there, but I really don't use it that often. But I'll use things like hashtag social media strategy, hashtag social media marketing. Those start getting more specific. But then I start putting in things like hashtag Instagram expert, hashtag Instagram training, hashtag Instagram updates. And guess what happens when someone goes to look for Instagram updates? They find me. And guess what happens when they find me? And they see that post that's talking about this kind of stuff. It's very educational. It tells them everything they need to know about that latest update. They go, damn, I'm going to follow this girl. They do. And they send me direct messages. And they set up consultations. And I make money. because I use this strategically, but they're not going to find me under hashtag social media. They're probably not even going to hire or find me under hashtag social media marketing, because even that's pretty popular. They're going to find me on the very specific categories that I'm using that I want people to find me for. So for example, we had the real estate example come up. Using hashtag real estate is pretty much useless. But using, in my case, I live in San Diego, so using something like hashtag San Diego real estate, that's going to fall probably more into the moderately popular. But if you start getting into the specific neighborhood, if you start getting into Carlsbad real estate, if you start getting into, school districts, Poway Unified real estate, or Poway Unified Homes, or anything like that, where you start looking at actual school districts, if people are looking for that kind of content that are related to specific areas, boom, you're a top post. If you're creating educational, valuable, entertaining content that people want to see, that is high-performing content, it's going to rank as a top post, and they're going to find you and track you down because of that hashtag strategy. And this will work for months, because you could be a top post. Like if you ever go look at top posts on Instagram, they're not chronological. The number one post could be from 2 weeks ago, because it's still high performing. As long as it's a high performing post, Instagram is going to keep you in there. Now, that being said, the whole algorithm in the hashtag searches is user specific, meaning if you and I go look at the exact same hashtag, the results will be different. Even though we're looking at the exact same hashtag, especially in the top post, because I'm going to get filtered content based on what I typically interact with. You are going to get filtered content that you typically interact with. So if you're a dog person and I'm a cat person, and we go look at a hashtag that has similar content, but I'm going to probably see more cats and you're probably going to see more dogs, because that is normally the content we interact with. Likewise, if I always interact with content related to celebrities and you never do, I'm going to see more of that type of content in my hashtag searches versus what you will see. Therefore, you need to make sure that you're crafting your content for your audience, not for you, for your audience. Because if your content is showing up in a hashtag search related to the types of things that those people normally look for, guess what? It's gonna rank higher. So if you know your audience have kids, if you're trying to sell homes, go back to the real estate example. If you're selling homes to people who have kids, chances are they're looking at a lot of kid-related things on Instagram. So if you can tie that into your content and have photos of kids or kids' activities, or talk about that kind of content that relates to what they're looking for, you just doubled your chances. I don't know that specifically, double's probably a kind of an artificial number, but you're increasing your chances of where you're going to rank in those top posts, because your high-performing content is going to put you as a top post based on our formula we just talked about. But if people are always looking at content with kids in it and your content has kids, boom, it just got ranked even higher. Okay? Yay! There we go. Super secret recipe that I tell everybody. Okay. So I'm coming back because a whole bunch of things came in and I want to get to all the questions. So Brittany Ward has joined us. Classic Legacy has joined us. Brittany asked the question that I'm about to answer, which is whether we should put hashtags in the captions or in the comments. I'm going to answer that in just a minute. Out of my blooming mindset, I've heard that you shouldn't use the same hashtags all the time. True or false? False. That is more fake news, people. That's back in January that I had to dispel all that bullshit back in January. Okay. I know. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. That's another YouTube video you can go look at. Okay. When it comes to hashtags, I use the same hashtags all the time. Literally all the time. Almost all the same hashtags. I change a couple of them for context. But essentially, whenever I go and put up anything that's an Instagram update, Instagram news, Instagram new features, etc., I'm using all the same hashtags. And I am not shadow banned. It doesn't happen that way. Use the hashtags. They're there for a reason. You're supposed to use them. Instagram's not going to punish you for using them. They want you to use them. That's why they get mad when you delete them. Ooh. Okay, so put them anywhere. Use them as often as you want, as many times as you want. You don't have to ignore that bad news as well. My girl Tanya's here. She has heard. Tanya, now you're hearing it live, girl. Tanya, she heard me go off earlier. She was one of the ones that reached out to me like, is this true? And I couldn't go on video because I was at work and I like literally couldn't go on video. But I was messaging her and I'm like, no, stop. She didn't do it. She was like, I don't really trust this information. But I was like, oh my God, this is not like, it just keeps coming. Okay. And she's saying that she loves the event. I think it's Degener4. Hello, good to see you as well. Real Life of a Doula has joined us as well. Degener4 said such good information. The Richard Clarkson is laughing at me. I love it. I love that you guys are all participating. We got Lynn Cutler. We got GP for Realtors. Tony Blubber said hashtag fake IG news. Bernie Borges, hey, is in the house as well. Adam Blooming Mind said yes, but I wasn't getting notifications when you were on, so I didn't know. I know, there's this weird thing, you guys. I don't know what is going on. But Instagram is really messing with our notifications. And like when people go live, they're not telling you that they go live. So people who usually come on to all of my shows are not getting the notification that I'm live on at that time. And so they're like missing the show. They're either coming in late or finding out about it afterwards when they log on to Instagram like 2 hours later and see that I have a replay. And they're like, oh my God, how did I miss this? So it's super frustrating. I don't know. You're not alone. This is happening like widespread. So I don't know if it's because more people are doing live videos. So Instagram is like holding back on the notifications because they don't want to flood you with notifications. If you have a very active account where, you're always getting notifications, maybe they don't want to like flood you with more about telling you when people are going live. I honestly don't really know why this is happening, but it is. So let's just do our best, to work around that. And, feel free. This is a spontaneous one. This isn't my normal show, but every other Wednesday at 4:30. So next week at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, I will be live. Put it on your calendars. So you get a pop-up reminder that says Jenn Herman in 10 minutes, and then you'll show up. It'll be amazing. And I only say that because people literally actually that are on this call right now actually do this. Bernie said, what's the big news? So I've been ranting for the last, I don't even know, what time did I go on? Oh my God, I don't even know when my hour's going to hit. I think I went on at like 4:40-ish. Oh God. I didn't even oh wait, I can look over here on YouTube. We've been good, 31 minutes. Okay. Yeah. So we're good. I didn't even look at the clock to see what time I started. But yeah, I've been ranting about this, Bernie, for about the last half hour. So for those of you who came in late, there is bad news that got out there. Some people that are sharing bad information, and they're telling people to delete their hashtags on posts over 5 days old. The problem with this, you guys, and we talked about at the top of the video, so you can come back and watch the replay. The problem with this is it's actually hurting you. If you go back and bulk update a bunch of content, meaning you're going in and deleting hashtags off of all of your posts, basically you're flagging Instagram to look like you're trying to game the system, because you are. And when you do this, they put you in jail, which means now your content isn't going to show up in hashtag searches. It means you're probably not going to get a lot of reach and exposure, and it's actually going to hurt you. So stop deleting your hashtags. And I just talked about my whole hashtag recipe. So if you didn't watch that, you can come back and watch the replay. It's also live over on YouTube. You can go back and watch the YouTube replay anytime you want. That has my super secret recipe that I tell everybody that will get you long-term results, that will get you conversions months down the road by using hashtags in the right way. And Ask Evie said, yes, fix this shit in regards to notifications. I don't know. Like I said, this is happening with everybody. Tanya said it's also messing with posting stories today too. It's a hot mess. Danny has said, I've missed so many. And Ask Evie said, thank God for the YouTube bell. Yeah. So Ask Evie, she subscribed to my YouTube channel because I have everything on my YouTube channel. I simulcast. I'm live on YouTube too. So she got the pop-up notification over on YouTube that I was live. And the Richard Clarkson said, I like you, tell it like it is. Welcome to my world, honey. This is me. I always say I'm not that good of an actress. This is me 24/7. Can you imagine living with someone like me? When I get this amped up about something, I talk this fast all the time. This is who I am. I'm really not faking this. But yeah, I have no shame about calling people out. I'm not going to call them out publicly in a way that is shameful. So I'm not throwing them under the bus. I'm not that kind of person, but I am going to call out this information as being wrong, because I do not believe it to be accurate or supportive in any way. I think it's bad information, and I got no shame coming out and telling anybody that I think it's bad information. And if I see these people, because I know who they are, I will tell them to their face that I think it's bad information. I've done this. I've literally talked to other people in this industry and been like, I completely disagree. And we have random conversations about these things online, in person. Yeah, no shame. I'm going to own it. I'm going to tell you how I feel, and you can choose to disagree with me and choose to prove me wrong. By all means, if you can prove me wrong, prove me wrong. I would love to be proven wrong and say, okay, I learned from it, and let's figure out why it worked for you and not for somebody else. and we can work through it. I'm all for that. Okay, so Blum Grunke said, thank you for the rant dispelling the deleting hashtags. People hear it and forget to research before they start changing things. Thus, you start losing activity. Exactly. People, and the problem is this is a relatively well-respected expert who put this content out there. And so people go, oh, well, if this person is saying it, then it must be true. And they just jump on it. And then it's like we have to backpedal our way through it to be like, no, this isn't necessarily right. And I don't blame this person. I'm not saying that it's necessarily wrong from that perspective of if you're using popular hashtags, then yes, after 5 days, they're useless to you. You could go in and delete them. But if you go in and delete them from one post, not a big deal. But when you're telling people to go in and delete them from all of their posts, that is a big deal because it's going to hurt them in, like I said, by flagging Instagram. But on top of that, if you're using hashtags properly, you shouldn't be using popular hashtags, and your hashtag should still be relevant 5 days later. They should absolutely be relevant 5 days later, 5 weeks later, 5 months later, even. If you are doing things the right way, they can still work for you. Bernie said, that's crazy. Renee Bowen has joined us. Erica Beach, hey girl, hey. Askevy said, can't fake Jen. There's no way you could act like this. I know. It would be really, I would love, you know, when they ask like who should play you in a movie, I'm like, because I'm like, who could pull this off? Tanya said, I would love to live with you or at least be your neighbor. Girl, I would love if you were my neighbor. Oh my God, can you imagine? Oh my God, it would be amazing. Evie said, I cannot wait for MDMC and social media marketing world. It's gonna be so freaking fun. It is. And I got to talk about MPMC. I did see your message, but I got to get back to you on that. And Tanya said that we were just talking about social media marketing world 19 and how we can't wait for it to happen. We were literally just having this conversation today. Okay. So I got to answer the next question, which a couple of you have asked about, which is where to put the hashtags. So yes, we're keeping hashtags, right? We started off with that. Good. We're all on the same page. If you're tuning in late, go back and watch the replay because I could do this all night long. Where to put the hashtags. So up until a couple months ago, it literally did not matter. You could put them in a comment underneath the post and kind of hide them, or you could put them in the original caption. I'm lazy. I've always put mine in the caption because I just think I'm here, I'm writing, I'm typing, just hit done and be done. Like, I don't want to like publish it and then have to like go back and add a comment and add on my hashtags. Like, I'm lazy. I'm always one button Jen. I always like, no matter what the capacity, I'm always like one button Jen. If I can click one button, then I'll be happy. So it really, in that capacity, it didn't matter, with the caveat that if you were using super popular hashtags, which I just told you not to do, but if you were using super popular hashtags, if you put them in a comment, the amount of time that it takes when you would post your content, you would hit share, then you would go and open a comment. Even if you were pasting your hashtags in there and then posted that could take 10 seconds. If you're typing them up manually, it could take 30 seconds to a minute. On those super popular hashtags, that 10-second window could mean tens of likes. It could mean dozens of likes, depending on what your content is. So this is something that if you were using super popular hashtags, then yes, you would want to leave them in the original caption so that they would go immediately with the post, go live. Your post would show up immediately and you wouldn't get buried down in the archives. You'd get more exposure. So that was the caveat to saying put them in the caption. But if you're not using super popular hashtags, then essentially it didn't matter because you could wait that 30 seconds and put them in a comment and they would still show up and you'd still get exposure. So it was fine. But, and this is a big but because this is a beta test, okay? This is not official. So things are constantly changing. Like I literally keep seeing this change on a weekly basis. So starting about maybe 2 months ago, they started doing weird things with hashtags. So people in certain countries, because again, this was a beta test rollout, what would happen was if you had your hashtags in your caption, then when, you know where there's the like the location tag, so you have your username and then there's like a location tag and then you have your post content. Well, where the location tag was, you would actually see hashtag plus however many more. So if I had my first hashtag is Jen's Trends and then like 18 more hashtags, it would say at Jen's Trends And then underneath that, it would say hashtag Jen's Trends plus 18 others. And then you would see my photo. So this started happening. And I was like, well, this is interesting because it's pulling your first hashtag from the list. So it was like, well, then what do you want people to see? Like, do you want it to be your branded hashtag? Do you want it to be your niche specific hashtag? Do you want it supposed to be your content? Like, what is the first because only the first one was showing up. If you had 5, it would say hashtag Jen's Trends plus 4 others. If you had 22, it had hashtag Jen's Trends plus 21 others. So it was pulling the first one and then plus however many others. So I was like, well, now you got to think strategically about what your first hashtag is. So this started happening. And like I said, it was only pulling from the caption. Then they started pulling them from anywhere. So even if you were putting them in a comment, it was still pulling them in some way into that. But that was short-lived. So it's still, for those people that are seeing it, as far as I understand, it's only pulling hashtags from your caption. But then, like last month, Instagram came out. It might have even been I think it was like November. Instagram tried something different. And just like you can tag people on a photo, so when you upload and you can choose to tag people or tag location, there was a hashtag option, which meant you could create your list of hashtags that would be there, but they wouldn't be in a caption and they wouldn't be in a comment. They were like buried in there like a tag. So they were in there. They were going to rank as hashtags and searches, but they weren't like blatantly obvious to the rest of the world as either a comment or in the caption. Now, again, beta test. Not everybody has it. Only a few select people that I know of have actually had access to this. And I haven't seen either one of these really roll out globally. So they're still testing. So to be safe, my advice right now is to put your hashtags in your caption. That is the safest place. If they're rolling out these changes, it's pulling them from that list from your caption. If it's one of those things where you really don't want them in your caption because it really bugs you because it's an aesthetic thing that just really don't like, okay, fine. Make sure you have at least one hashtag in your caption that is the one you want to be known for and recognized for that piece of content, and then put everything else in a comment. Because if they do that, hashtag Jen's Trends plus 22 others, then it's going to pull that first one, which is the hashtag Jen's Trends. That's what I want to be known for. But if I want to put the 22 others in a comment, then fine, it'll still say hashtag Jen's Trends. And this looks like this is the direction Instagram is going. Of course, they could change this any day because they do. They run these beta tests, they do all these things, and then they roll out something completely different when they actually roll it out globally. So I don't know exactly what that's going to look like. But for right now, I would recommend that you put your hashtags in your caption. That is my best and safest advice with these pending changes. If it gets to the point where we get to where they want to have you put them as tags, just like a location tag or a person tag, then great. That's going to solve the question because that's where you're going to put them and that's what's going to work. But at this point, stick with the captions. Be safe. Cool? Okay. We have a bunch of questions popped in. We got the Aqua Lotus has joined us as well. Tanya's saying, she's laughing, saying hashtag one button, Jen, no joke. That's why I do Instagram Live, one button. I do YouTube Live, one button. I don't do no eCam. I don't do no Skype integration with all these. No, mama ain't got time for that. If I have to push 2 buttons, I'm not doing it. I'm just telling you. I'm one of those people. People keep telling me there's all these tools. I'm like, that's great. I'm not going to use it. If I have to push 3 buttons, I'm not going to use it. I want a 1 button. I don't like integration and confusion. If you give me 1 button, I will use it. I am not one of those complicated people. Patty Cake said, can I go back and add hashtags to posts that don't have much? Yes, you absolutely can go back and add hashtags after the fact. But remember that your hashtags are relevant to the time the post was shared chronologically. Meaning, if the post was shared yesterday and you add hashtags today, your post will show up chronologically based on that other content. So if there was 1,000 posts since yours yesterday, yours will not show up at the top when you add the hashtag today. It's going to show up as number 1,000 or 1,001 if there were 1,000 in front of you. So it's going to be based chronologically on the time the post was shared, not when you add the hashtags. So it's really not that relevant to go back and update your old ones because of the fact that it's not going to make a huge difference. You're not going to really rank any higher. And it's not going to trigger you as a top post because you're not going to get the proliferation because your content is buried. So you could do it. I don't really think it's necessary. I think it's honestly going to be a waste of time. That's just going to exhaust you. I would just say going forward, use this strategy and be very specific with it as you go forward, and you will start to see the results. And if people are finding your top posts and they come to your profile, they will go look at your older content. So you will still get eyes on that older content by using this strategy going forward. And Tanya is saying, yes, I saw that, which I'm assuming is related to the new hashtag layouts. We got Regina has joined us. We got Rhoda Carlson, Mallory King Fitness, Wendy is here. Out of My Blooming Mind asked about hashtags in the bio. I will come back to that. Regina asked about the alt text feature. Let me come back to that. Max Loop DJ is here. Vibing Valenti is here. Max asked if I'll be at the NAM show. I am going to be there. I will be at Winter NAM in Anaheim in January. Yes, I will be there. I am doing 3 presentations. I'm doing like a bigger one. I'm doing a double Facebook one and an Instagram one. And Patty Cake Real Estate is saying thanks for the for the tips. Chipmunk Media is laughing. Chipmunk Media said, I have a very important question. How do you type and tap on your phone with those fingernails? Girl, it is not easy. It's hard. So like normal people use like they type like this, right? Like they use the tip of their finger. Yeah, mama can't do that. Look at that. It don't work. So I use the ball of my fingers. I'm a really slow typer. I'm like a granny typer. And I literally have to like tap. It's really embarrassing. I'm not a fast typer. It's really bad. And Megan Del Borello has just joined us as well. And over here on YouTube, Virgin Pearls has joined us and asked about the Instagram alt text feature. And will it help SEO? Okay, so a couple questions. I'm going to come back to that. So we had the question back here was Out of My Blooming Mind. Danny had asked me, how do you feel about hashtags in the bio? And this is a great question because when they rolled this feature out, and I've talked about this in a few presentations, it's probably in a couple of their YouTube videos. When they rolled this feature out, everyone jumped on it and they started throwing hashtags in their bio. And I was like, oh my God, stop. Like you need to think about how these hashtags are being used. So if you want to use a hashtag related to a campaign that you are running for your business that's exclusive to your content, throw that in your bio. Absolutely. Use a hashtag specifically related to your content. And maybe people are creating user-generated content around that hashtag. Absolutely throw that in your bio. Let's just say you're a photographer. Why would you put hashtag photographer in your bio? Say photographer. That's what matters. If you turn around and say hashtag photographer and somebody comes to your bio and they click on hashtag photographer, they're going to go to a gallery with about a bazillion posts, none of which are yours. So someone found you and you just sent them away to every stranger on the planet who is a photographer or thinks they're a photographer. Why would you do that? It's dumb. You're sending people away from you. Like that's the worst thing you would ever want to do. When they come to your bio, you want them to love you. You want them to stay. You want them to follow, interact, and play with your content. They're not going to do that if you give them hashtags that send them far away. So the only hashtags, and I say one, like maybe 2, but you should only have like 1 hashtag in your bio if you really want it. But it should be something campaign related. It should be something related to your brand. Like I said, like if you were doing something where people are creating user-generated content, like the Love Bomb Co. Is one of my favorite accounts. She makes great content on Instagram. She's incredibly, fun. I love her products anyways. But she has a lot of user-generated content. So she could put the hashtag in her bio that if people clicked on it, they would see all the people's content related to her brand. So it only augments her brand and how she looks. It's not sending them to a bunch of random things unrelated to what she does. So either your own brand hashtag that sends people to more of your content or something like your campaigns where people are going to find out more information about you, user-generated content, that sort of stuff, then you can use those. But only use 1 hashtag in your bio at any given time and make sure it's, like I said, that very related to your content. Tanya said, wait, what? Hashtags in bio? Okay, then. Yeah, so that for those of you who don't know, you can have clickable hashtags in your bio. Now, that happened like, I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe. I'm so horrible with time frame. I don't know. But it's been a while. It's been a hot minute, where you can go in and you can now put clickable hashtags in your bio. But just follow all the advice I just gave you. Okay, so the alt text feature, will that help with SEO? I freaking hope so. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm super excited about this. So for those of you that don't know, this just was announced like this week. I think it was like this week, maybe last week. Again, I'm horrible with time. I'm so, between the holidays and everything, I'm surprised I know what day of the week it is. And now that I did a live on a Thursday, I'm really going to be messed up tomorrow. I'm just saying. I also have a webinar tomorrow morning, and I'm not going to have a voice barely after like this rant, and I'm talking for like an hour. I'm probably, which means, yeah, we're at 50 minutes. I only got like 10 minutes left. Okay, so the alt text. They basically came out and said they're going to now start including alt text on Instagram posts, which for those people, who know how like websites and all these things work, it's basically like a metadata. It's a tag that goes on your content that gives it a searchable factor, so that if someone goes and looks for a certain thing and you've tagged a photo with that text, so if someone goes and looks for Jenn Herman, any photo that has the tag Jenn Herman on it will show up in a Google search. So if you have alt text on your Instagram photos could show up in, and I'm just like lost my camera. Hello, it's fuzzy. There we go. Then you'll start showing up in more potential search rankings. So I think this is great. I'm excited about it. This is also going to be really helpful if you're doing things like if you're embedding content in like blog posts or in your website, where if you're taking like the Instagram post that's embedded, but that has the alt text aligned with it, and if that shows up, then if people are like finding that in a Google search, then they're actually on your website, not just on your Instagram account. But yeah, the one there's probably more than one, but one of the major downsides to Instagram is it's not really searchable. So like if you search for something, like if you go to Google and search, realtors San Diego Instagram, you'll get some results, but you're going to get for people that have it in their name and that sort of thing. You're not going to get it for photos because there's no text to correlate to it in that way. So this would help your content actually show up in search rankings. So abso-freaking-lutely, I'm excited about this. I'm excited for the potential. I hope that it really does work that way. I will be curious to see how it rolls out, how it integrates, what it really does. But I'm absolutely excited in terms of what this looks like in terms of potential. So thumbs up. Let's hope it works. So Tanya said it must not be available in Canada because when I click hashtags and bios, nothing happens. Oh, that's weird. Maybe it's just you. Girl, I love you. But I swear to God, you're like the last one to get everything. Although I'm still waiting on the share to feature, like when you can share a post to your own story. Yeah, still don't have that on this account. I have it on my other accounts. I don't have it on this account. Like the one, I'm like, I need this feature and I ain't got it. Drives me freaking crazy. But it's weird that you don't have that. I don't know if there's any other Canadians on the line that are watching this. Let us know if you have the availability to click on hashtags, if clickable hashtags are in the bio. Regina said, this is golden. I'm so glad. Kara McCarran joined us as well. Regina said, this is great for brands and creators. I agree. I think it could be very, very valuable. I think this is a big step towards Facebook/Instagram world domination. Just saying. And Martin has joined us as well. Regina said, when you click edit post, alt text is on the right bottom corner of the photo. Oh, good to know. I honestly haven't even dug into it. I've been researching it in terms of what it could mean and how it could be used, but I honestly haven't even tried to do it. I should probably do that. It's been a busy week. But yeah, that's good to know. So if you click edit post, there's an alt text option. So you can go ahead and put that in there. So that might be something you want to assign to somebody or find some downtime to go in and update your photos with that and be very clear about what you want that text to be. So you don't want it to just be Jenn Herman, because then the only time that content's going to show up is if they're looking for Jenn Herman. If they're looking for Instagram training, Instagram updates, Instagram hashtags, those sorts of things, those are the kinds of text that you want in there to identify it. Out of my blooming mindset, I still don't have any sticker features on my stories. It's been over. Are you serious? Oh, shit. Dang, girl. That's got to be frustrating. Oh, my God. I can't even imagine. Oh, my gosh. The Modern Life Realtor joined us as well. Oh God, Solangeli, I'm going to guess. I'm horrible with usernames, you guys. I always do this to myself. The Modern Life Realtor, if you want to come back and watch the replay or head over to YouTube and watch the replay there, we talked a lot and gave a lot of real estate examples. So this might be a good video for you to come back and watch if you want to come back and catch that. So we are coming up on the hour. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. So for those of you, I didn't plan on this being an hour. So dang, like, thanks for sticking around, you guys. For a spontaneous live, it turned out pretty dang good. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for you guys for tuning in. If those of you came in late, want to go back and listen to the rant, make sure you have your headphones in, because yes, there were some, it wasn't too colorful, but there was some language, throughout that you may want to prevent, the elderly, the minors, or the coworkers from hearing if you're playing this on the replay. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, remember, don't go back and delete all of your hashtags. Make sure you're using the super secret recipe that I tell everybody, which is 3 to 5 popular, 3 to 5 moderately popular, 3 to 5 niche specific, and 1 to 3 branded hashtags. Use that as a cohesive strategy and you will have success with your hashtags for long periods of time. Thank you so much. I love you all. I appreciate you being here. Thank you all. Thank you. I got hashtag Power Woman. Love you. Miss you. Golden tips. Thank you. I found you on YouTube and immediately followed you on Instagram. Wow. Oh my God. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Erica's saying goodbye. I need to listen to the rant. Girl, you got to come back and listen. It's fun. Ever Blooming Mind said, thanks for all the tips. Regina said, awesome content. Awesome. Appreciate the tips on Instagram updates. My pleasure. Thank you so much, you guys. I always love that you're here. I love your participation. And as always, I'm here to answer your questions. If you need anything, feel free to hit me up, send me a direct message, anything like that, and I will be there to help you. Love you guys. Thank you for being here. And, oh, there we go. Woo. Messing with me. Save, share. All right, YouTubers, thank you so much. As always, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you want to get those live updates or when I post more training videos. So subscribe so you don't miss out on those opportunities, because like we said, sometimes the Instagram doesn't tell you when I go live. But if you subscribe to YouTube, it will tell you when I go live. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you have questions about this, if you're coming back and weren't here on the live show and you want to ask any questions about any of this content, about hashtags, how and when to use them, feel free to drop those here in the comments and I will come back and answer those questions for you here. As always, thank you so much and I will see you on the next video.